Trick-or-treaters will be in full force tonight, and we have the information you need to stay safe. And Election Day is right around the corner. News 3 has the details on this heated governor's race. And a small crime in Macomb that has made an impact on those that ran in the Fallen Soldiers 5K. All that and more right now.
The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
A local veteran is speaking out about the disappearance of 30 American flags. Good morning, Macomb. I'm Franny Smith.
And I'm Drew Hoffman. More than 500 runners came out to show their support on the 18th of October for the Fallen Soldiers 5K. After the race was over, everything seemed fine until 3 days ago. Lieutenant Colonel Macomb, the Director of Development for Fine Arts and Communication, caught wind that 30 flags were stolen. And this wasn't the first time that the flags have been stolen from this race. Last year, 12 were taken, but the theft was kept quiet so that the focus wasn't taken away from the run. This time, however, Macomb reported the theft to the police and has a message for those that stole the flags.
Well, best case, I hope it's a prank gone wrong, and perhaps folks weren't thinking in the moment. Worst case is it's a terrible act of malicious theft. But what I would say to them is, I'd invite them to the run next year, and I'd have them sit with the families of Colonel Baldwin's family and Captain Dobeguy's family, and feel the power of the moment and what we're trying to do with the Fallen Soldier Run.
News 3 will have more from Macomb on Tuesday.
Only a few days are left before the election, which means the chance to vote early is coming to a close. Those wanting a head start on the election can vote at the McDonough County Courthouse through Monday. Voting is available today until 4 p.m., tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon, and finally Monday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You must bring a copy of your photo ID to register. In less than a week, Illinoisans will begin to have an idea of who will head the state for the next 4 years.
All eyes are on Springfield as Pat Quinn and Bruce Rauner complete the final leg of the campaigns for the governor's office.
News 3's Johnny Cather joins us to start off our campaign 2014 coverage this morning. Johnny?
We're here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race, which is occurring in just a few days here. Now, this race is going to be on the ballot for voters across the state, and as is the case with these sorts of elections, there still is a bit of confusion on where the candidates stand on certain issues. After a lengthy and costly campaign, Election Day is just 5 days away, and despite all the publicity, many voters are still undecided, be it wariness of the candidates.
I don't think Pat Quinn's really done a good job, and I don't think Bruce Rauner is really the right candidate for it.
Uncertainty on the issues.
Pension reform is still unsolved.
Or lack of preparation.
Could you have followed him maybe a little bit more?
Yeah, I could probably search online more.
In all reality, it's very understandable why voters are unsure where incumbent Governor Pat Quinn and Republican challenger Bruce Rauner stand on the issues. Analysts predicted campaigns filled with negativity and personal attacks, and their predictions were spot on.
The Quinn campaign, what they're trying to do in terms of frame Rauner is not one of you, he doesn't understand you, and then they are putting out a lot of ads that question his business practices. Rauner is trying to do is talk change and paint Quinn as a failure and just another Illinois politician.
With the Quinn and Rauner campaigns in the home stretch, one important factor may decide who gets the key to the governor's mansion.
It's a very tight race, probably going to be a turnout war.
And with Election Day coming up just in a few days on the 4th, if you're still a little confused about where you'll be going to vote, you can head to elections.il.gov for polling location information. Here at the Capitol for News 3, I'm Johnny Cather.
Thanks, Johnny. Our campaign 2014 coverage continues Tuesday from Springfield. News 3's Mario Calero takes a look at how campaign spending may affect this year's election results.
And Emily Manley reports from Macomb on the projected low turnout by youth voters. News 3 will live stream our Tuesday show and on our YouTube page and our website, news3wiu.com. Coverage starts live at 4. Macomb Mayor Mike Inman is looking for someone to fill the First Ward alderman position. The First Ward seat is currently vacant after Ryan Hansen resigned earlier this month. Nomination petitions for the position are now available in the city clerk's office. The First ward is the northwest section of Macomb, which is north of Adams Street and west of Western Avenue. The ward also includes Spring Lake Park. Petitions will be filed from November 17th to November 24th, with the election taking place this upcoming April.
The flu is highly contagious, and as many 75,000 people contract it in a year. It can lead to anywhere from 3,000 to 49 deaths in a year. Here in McDonough County, many residents are looking to prevent the flu, but a shortage of the vaccine is making that more difficult. News 3's Kayla Robinson reports.
Flu season is here, and how can you protect yourself? Every year is different, so the health facilities base their supply from the previous year, and this year has been challenging. The problem is that people are unable to receive the flu shot with the low vaccine in McDonough and surrounding counties. This is a pharmaceutical problem. To stay ahead of the flu and monitor if it is in your state, you can monitor by going to the CDC website. So, who can get the flu?
Really everyone. If somebody has a compromised immune system, definitely. Anybody that is over the age of 65, but it really affects everybody. Everybody can get the flu.
As of August 2014, there have been more than 105 flu-related deaths. To take precaution, you should watch for these symptoms: fever 100 or greater, aches, chills, or tiredness. The biggest question is, if you get the flu shot, can you get the flu?
It can't. We actually joke with our clients at the flu clinics that if you get the flu within the next 2 weeks, it's not because of me, so you don't get to come back and yell. If they get the flu within the first 2 weeks, because it takes 2 weeks for it to kick in and start working, they've already been exposed to it. So people that start to have flu-like symptoms, it's because they were already exposed.
For News 3, I'm Kayla Robinson.
Flu shot clinics are going to be rescheduled. They're still waiting for supply to be in the house before they give any exact dates out.
Another local business is closing in Macomb. Bad Kitty Music announced the news of the closing on their Facebook page. They'll be closing in mid-December this year. Bad Kitty Music sells vintage vinyl records and will still try to fill all orders that anyone has placed. Also, they will still have new product coming out until the end. The Western Courier says that the record store opened in late November in 2011.
Halloween trick-or-treating continues tonight in Macomb. The hours allowed for trick-or-treating are from 6 to 8 p.m. The city of Macomb asks residents to please leave a light on their porches if they wish to hand out treats. And those ghosts and ghouls will invade your local neighborhood streets just one more time. And while they are doing it, it's supposed to be fun, but there are some dangers. We have some steps for you so you can make sure your Halloween is a safe one. The National Traffic Highway Safety Administration reports that Halloween ranks in the top 3 days of the year for pedestrian-related accidents in the U.S. 48% of those accidents involve a drunk driver. So, if you are driving, be smart. Avoid driving through neighborhoods, drive slowly, and if you plan to drink, make sure you have a designated driver.
Halloween festivities are wrapping up around Macomb. Tonight is the last night to visit the Hornfield Campus Haunted Corn Maze. You'll want to grab a flashlight before you make your way through the haunted field of corn. The maze is about a mile south of Macomb High School off East China Road. It opens tonight at 8 p.m. and lasts through 11 o'clock. Admission is $5. Hornfield asks that all children under 16 years old be accompanied by an adult. For those guys and ghouls out there in need of a good time, the Rec Center at WIU has something for you. Tonight, the Rocky After Dark Halloween Skate will be happening at 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. There will be activities with spooky prizes, and participants are encouraged to join the Halloween contest towards the end of the night. The event is free for all students. And coming up in 2 minutes, a homemade haunted house has terrified the streets of Good Hope.
I'll sit down with the creators and figure out why they decided to build a spooky abode inside their own house.
And freeze warnings are in place across our entire region. I think it's time to bundle up outside and make sure you're nice and warm if we're going outside. Full details and the full forecast in a couple minutes.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up.
That's me, Joe Decker, owner of San Diego-based Gut Check Fitness, Guinness Booker World Record holder, World's Fittest Man, and WIU graduate. There are a few things that have helped me get to the top of my industry: growing up on a farm in the Midwest, serving in the U.S. military, and graduating from WIU. This is my story. What will your success story be?
Campaign 2014, continuing coverage online, news3wiu.com.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Franny Smith, Drew Hoffman, weather with meteorology major Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Tyler Eddy. News 3 continues.
Welcome back to Good Morning Macomb. Joining us now at the desk are Sarah and Brad Payne. The Paynes live in Good Hope just outside of Macomb and are running a free haunted house out of their garage. And yes, you heard me correctly, a free haunted house out of their garage. And guys, thanks for joining me up here today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, well, the first question is the obvious question. Why a haunted house in your garage?
You want this one?
No, go ahead.
We started 4 or 5 years ago and started simple, and as the folks started coming by, I realized how much fun they were having. And every year we've stepped it up a little bit and have quite a following now. And it's just a blast to do something for the community, for people to enjoy.
We just want everybody to come and have a good time.
Well, you know, and for myself, you know, I went through it, you know, the last 2 nights in a row. And, you know, the first time you guys showed me, I was scared. I mean, you'll probably see some of the video. I mean, you had us jumping. I mean,
good.
It was good. But after the second time, after you showed us, you know, all the work you put into it, I mean, it's got to be just an absurd amount of hours you put into that place.
Well, I know Brad's had kind of a dream of a couple more rooms that he wanted to add at the end of last year, and he ended up starting in June this year and created and built a coffin and a crematorium room, and just a lot of fun, a lot of really good small scare factors that are still safe and family friendly, and that's what we enjoyed sharing.
And we start with ideas and work through the process of making them happen. And it takes some time, but it's a labor of love. It's so much fun as the folks come through, and the anxiety before they go in is wonderful, and the appreciation when they come out, and the relief of all levels of scare. It's just wonderful.
And you know what? And after all that time that you guys have put into this, I mean, you still elect to have it for free. I mean, you could easily be charging money if you want to, but I mean, what you guys are doing, it's amazing, really.
Well, it's all about the community, and we saw that with all the international students that showed up from Western last night. We had 7 15-passenger vans, so just an amazing support from the community, and we really enjoy that.
Yeah, we will never charge. We like to do it for the fun. This year we have accepted donations for a local food pantry, the Loaves and Fishes. It was suggested the last few years, folks actually wanted to pay, and we said no. We do this for fun, for the community. So we've collected a phenomenal amount of food. I mean, very generous the folks have been. And money, it's all going to go to Loaves and Fishes, which just puts the icing on the cake there.
Well, it is amazing. And you kind of talked about some of the suggestions you guys have gotten for, like, you know, sorting up the donations. What other kind of feedback have you gotten for this? I mean, it's really good. I mean, I can't say that enough. I mean, it's a great haunted house.
We appreciate that. I'm at the tail end, so it helps me to see the reactions. Typically quiz folks, see what part they like, see what gets them. Some, there's one feature inside that really works well, and others, when I asked, I said, what was your favorite part? Everything. What was the most scary? Everything. So all ranges of scare, which is nice.
Well, it's great. All right, the Haunted Garage continues tonight for one last night. It goes from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at 410 North Union Street in Good Hope. It is free admission, but like they said, non-perishable items are accepted for donation to the local food pantry, Loaves and Fishes. And guys, thank you so much again for coming on.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Coming up after the break, Nicholas Stewart tells us how scary the weather will be tonight for those trick-or-treaters.
Stories. They happen everywhere. At NEWS3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us. The stories that move us. The stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
NEWS3 means to me an amazing experience. Being able to work with seniors, it's given me the experience and the knowledge and getting to know more about writing and becoming a better writer. Being able to be an anchor and do what I want to do in life. I don't want to leave. I'm not ready yet. I don't think there are words to describe how thankful I am for everything that everybody has given me and taught me out here in Western.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire, but you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
NEWS3 is your home for local coverage of Campaign 2014 with full analysis and reports from Macomb and Springfield. Tune in on Election Day live at 4 and online, news3wiu.com.
Taking a look outside of Macomb right now, we have bricks and clouds. Most of the clouds is cleared out. We're looking at mostly sunny skies. We're pretty cold out there though, 34 degrees right now, 62% humidity, but the winds are kind of the really big story this morning as well. You're gusting over 20 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour time. That's going to continue basically throughout the day. Current satellite radar composite shows the clouds have cleared out of the area, looking at nothing but clear skies off to our north and west, and that's going to persist for the next several days. But again, those temperatures are very cool. That sunshine isn't going to do much for temperatures. 33 in Davenport, 37 in Chicago. And you can see the line where this clipper is right now. That's where the very cold air and very strong wind is riding along. Alberta clipper that's moving on through and off to our north and east. That's kind of our weather maker for the next several days. Yeah, we can watch it. It continues to move on off to our south and east, but this area of high pressure off to our west really dominates our weather pattern. Mostly clear skies, and the radar is very clean. But again, we can see this area of low pressure off to our southeast. The difference in pressure between this low pressure and this high pressure off to our west, that's why we're getting these very strong winds, a very strong pressure gradient between these two. And that's why we're getting those very strong winds. And then temperatures today aren't going to recover very much. Only about 47 degrees is a high later on today. The sun will help bring up our temperatures just a little bit, but we're going to be under the influence of the cold Canadian air. But tonight, the temperatures really bottom out. 25 in Macomb, 25 in the Quad Cities, only 24 in Des Moines. And all this cold air is going to continue to sit over the region for the next several days. It's going to be very cold for those trick-or-treaters out there. And not just cold, we're also going to be dealing with some very strong winds. These are wind gusts off one of our computer models. Wind gusts over 30 miles per hour, even still at midnight. Chicagoland, though, very strong winds, 42 miles per hour in the next, basically throughout the night. Tomorrow, the area of high pressure continues moving in, clearing out our skies. It'll be pretty nice out there, and it'll be a very good day for your Saturday. And then we're going to get up to about the low 50s for tomorrow as a high temperature. And as we continue, some snow showers, lake effect snow, nothing that'll be too drastic. But for your Halloween forecast, 42 degrees, mostly sunny and windy. We're going to get these gusts about 30 miles per hour. For tonight, 24 degrees, light winds 10 to 15, and 5-day forecast, pretty cool, doesn't warm up too much, only 59 by Monday. So have a good Halloween, everybody. Remember, respect the polygon. Back to you.
Thanks, Nick. Coming up in sports.
Coming up next in sports, I'll have a preview of the men's soccer game against Oral Roberts, and the Macomb volleyball team has their season come to a close. And the WIU basketball program show off their talents at Leatherneck Madness. Plus, the Western Illinois tennis courts received a facelift. All that and more is next on Good Morning Macomb.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Don't worry. The 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, that's me, Sammy Marshall, a junior exercise science major at Western Illinois University, shortstop on the Leatherneck softball team, and Summit League Player of the Year. At Western, I take my GPA just as seriously as I take my batting average. My experiences with faculty, my coaching staff, and the community are helping shape my future in exercise science. This is my story. What will your success story be?
When the big stories strike, count on award winners to provide you intimate and in-depth coverage. On the air and online. Local news, fresh perspective.
Good morning, Western Illinois. The season for the Macomb Bomber volleyball team has certainly been a roller coaster. Tuesday night was no different as they took on the top-seeded Limestone Rockets in the Class 3A regionals in Galesburg. The Bombers showed early life to start the night, but would let the Rockets blast off. Limestone took a two-set sweep of the Orange and Black, 25-18 and 25-12. Offensively, the Bombers kept up with the Rockets, but the Limestone attack was too much on the transition for Macomb. There were some bright spots on the Macomb side. Jenna Kelso led the defense with 14 digs, and Mia Lambert tallied 4 blocks while racking up 12 assists. Jensen Protzman led the Bomber attack with 4 kills. The Western Illinois men's soccer shutout streak was snapped over the weekend after a tie against IUPUI. Tomorrow, the Leathernecks will take on Oral Roberts University in an effort to continue their unbeaten streak to 9 games on the year. Tomorrow will also mark Senior Day for the Purple and Gold at John McKenzie Alumni Field. The men's team is currently sitting pretty atop the Summit League standings and have already clinched a berth in the league tournament. A win over Oral Roberts would give Western Illinois a good chance of winning the Summit League regular season title, and they would play as host to the 2015 tournament. Saturday's game will mark the 23rd meeting between the Golden Eagles and WIU in program history. The Leathernecks lead the all-time series 13-7-2. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. The Western Illinois tennis teams have received a big upgrade. The Western Illinois Athletic Department has unveiled 8 newly renovated tennis courts. The courts are located next to Brophy Hall and Mariella McKee Softball Stadium. They were resurfaced with 100% acrylic material and painted, of course, purple. The surface upgrade was the final piece of other renovations that include new nets, windscreens, and scoring systems. 6. That's the number of days Western Illinois basketball fans have to wait to see the Western programs inside Western Hall. Tuesday night, the Western Illinois basketball program showed off some of their skills for fans at Leatherneck Madness and gave a preview of what to expect this season. Players and coaches from both teams held a 3-point shooting contest and even a slam dunk contest. Senior guard Remy Roberts-Burnett for the men's team won the dunk contest, and the women's team dominated the three-point affair. Women's coach J.D. Gravina and men's coach Billy Wright spoke to fans and thanked them for their continued support. The women's team starts their exhibition season next Thursday at home against William Jewell at 7 p.m. The Chicago Blackhawks took on the Ottawa Senators last night for the second time in 5 days due to a scheduling issue. The trip to Ottawa is a homecoming of sorts for Hawks forward Marian Hossa, who began his career with the Senators, and last night marked the 1100th game of his NHL career. All tied up at 3 in the third period when Marian Hossa brings it around the net and wrists it in for the goal to put the Hawks up 4-3 late. And later in the third, Ottawa with the puck, and forward Mika Zibanejad shoots one from 20 feet out, and he scores to tie it up, and they went into overtime, but here comes the shootout, and Patrick Sharp gets it right past the goalie, and he ends it for the Hawks, and they win the game by the final of 5-4. With the goal in the third period, Marian Hossa collected his 1,000th point in his career. So, guys, pretty good. Blackhawks. They were in action last night. Tonight, Bulls home opener against the Cavs. I know you're excited about that.
I'm so excited about that. I'm a huge Bulls fan, and I cannot wait for them to take down LeBron.
Derrick Rose is back too, so that'll be good.
Yes, and I'm more than excited about it. All right, coming up after the break, we're going to take one final look at weather and see what the weather's going to be like for those trick-or-treaters out there.
Brr.
Thank you, dear. Oh, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, that's me, Sammy Marshall, a junior exercise science major at Western Illinois University, shortstop on the Leatherneck softball team, and Summit League Player of the Year. At Western, I take my GPA just as seriously as I take my batting average. My experiences with faculty, my coaching staff, and the community are helping shape my future in exercise science. This is my story. What will your success story be?
When the big stories strike, count on award winners to provide you intimate and in-depth coverage. On the air and online. Local news, fresh perspective.
Temperatures tonight are only going to be 24 degrees. It's going to be pretty chilly out there for those trick-or-treaters. But a bigger deal is going to be those strong winds with the Clipper system that's moving on through. Gusting winds almost upwards of 30 miles per hour at times from the north. That could bring our wind chills down into the teens. Just a reminder, our freeze warning remains in effect until tomorrow morning. Looking at a hard killing freeze for any plants out there. So if you do have any plants that need to come inside, make sure to do so. So bundle up your cage if you're going trick-or-treating out there, and hopefully it won't be too bad out there, so we'll see what happens. So.
It is cold.
Yeah.
I have walked here today. I'm not looking forward to that walk home.
I'm going to shake every hand of every small child going out tonight because they're pretty brave, okay? Let's just say that.
Hopefully they're all as festive as we are today.
Yeah, jeez.
We got
really
Peter
got
Cottontail, Penguin, Sophisticated Weatherman. Is that what
James Spann from ABC 3340.
There you go.
He's my idol, so.
And you are?
I am a baseballer.
Ah.
It's cheesy, but it's me.
It
it's
works.
my personality.
It works.
Ultimate sports fan.
Well, that will do it for us this morning. For Nicholas Stewart, I'm Franny Smith.
And for Tyler Eddy, I'm Drew Hoffman. We'll stay on top of your news over the weekend and bring you the latest updates on Tuesday, live at 4.
Until then, we're always online and on social media. Have a good morning, Macomb, and happy Halloween.